All right, this time at the Quick Speed Shop, check it out. I got not one Dodge, but two Dodges. We got twin brown Dodge trucks. That means I've dragged the carcass of what was left of the original truck out from its grave, and we're going to start stripping it and putting all the stuff in the donor cab. Dash, wiring harness, stuff like that, doors. So it's going to be exciting. I'm going to hop on the tractor and we'll drag that sucker out from where it's been stashed for like the last 8 months. All right, hey guys, welcome back to Quick Speed Shop. I'm Josh, and today we're working on the Dodge truck. The cab is back on the frame, and I need to start assembling this thing. And I think tonight we're going to start off doing a little Kilmat. This is sound deadening. Now check this out. See how tinny that is? When I swapped the roof skin on this truck, if you want to go back and watch a video on that in the playlist, see that? I had the roof skin off, and I actually took this stuff and I lined the inside of the roof and the top of the skin. So I took all the tinniness out of the cab. So we're going to do that on the back here. I bought this stuff from Amazon. It's 80 mil, and what you get is a little roller here. And I didn't purposely paint the back of the cab when I painted the cab because I'm going to cover it up with this Kilmat. We're going to deaden this up with some sound action. And I've already wiped this down really well. And we're just going to go ahead and stick these on like this. And I've got an application tool that is like a wheel here. I just showed you it 2 seconds ago. Where is it? Right here. And you'd simply put this stuff on and roll it on out. And this will deaden all the sound. This, new cars, they come with sound deadener in the doors and stuff to help with tinniness. That's why doors always sound solid and stuff like that on new cars. They put rectangles of this type of stuff in different panel areas. This truck's going to have pretty loud exhaust on it, but all this tinniness, I might as well take a little bit out of it. This stuff I think is $56 for 36 square feet, something like that. And I did my boogie van. I did the whole inside of the boogie van with it. They really made a big difference with the tinniness. So now, listen, ready? So that's gonna do that. I'm gonna do the whole back of the cab. I'm gonna do here, and I'm gonna do under the seat. There is a seat frame that bolts on here. Originally, this truck had a bench seat, which is rough. But I had my parts truck had a SE Venture interior with the bucket seats and the center console. So I've got the brackets and stuff all sandblasted and powder coated. I'm going to be putting bucket seats in this. Not the original 75 bucket seats because they were trashed, but I have some leather Jeep Grand Cherokee bucket seats that I think are going to fit good in the cab. So we're going to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and put all this Kilmat in real fast, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I did the back of the cab, and I'm about ready to cover up my floor here. But I'm going to spray some fluid film in the rear section of the cab. This is like a raised section here where the rear cab bolts go. So I've already hit it pretty good on this side. Got my wand so I can get way back in there, and I'm just coating the inside of this to help, with future rust prevention. Never have too much fluid film. these rubber plugs here that go and boom, seal up those holes. So I just went and did that, and I'm gonna just Kilmat right over the top of them. They can be cut open later with a razor blade if we have to. But for now, they can just be covered right up. But now the inside of the structure of the back of the cab won't rust anymore. This cab came out of Florida, so it's very, very, very rust-free. Very good condition. And when I had replaced the roof skin, I sprayed fluid film up. I'm going to get in the hole here later on in the gun where the reverse or the interior light goes. Just coat the inside of this. I did some of it, like the jams up here and all that. I sprayed when I had the roof skin off. I actually hit them first, but I'll just get more. Just trying to, these roofs all tend to rot in the front. I can go in where the sun visors go. Oh, I see. I've already sprayed it, like I said. I just got some on my finger, but I'll spray some a little bit more in there, and this thing will be super coated on the inside. Any moisture won't be able to attack the metal anymore. I had painted it, you know, Kilmatted and all that stuff. It'll keep the rust at bay and the moisture at bay. So you probably don't need to watch me stick any more of this in, you get the point, but I'm just gonna work down to here. I'm gonna leave it shy of the seat so the stuff won't show under the seat. Seat bolts on here. Then I'm gonna use the Herculiner bed liner material like I used on the rocker panels here. And I'm gonna do probably this section of the floor up here around the seat and the tunnel and the floorboards. That'll all be Herculiner, but under the seat will all be, oh, listen. That's way more solid already. All right, I set the seat frame in here. This is the Adventure SE bucket seat frame. The two buckets bolted on here. Then there's a metal box that bolts on some clips around the tubing. And then a padded seat top which opens for your storage in the bin. And then the back goes up here and there's a bracket that goes on the back of the cab. This is sandblasted. My friend Jordan powder coated it with his homemade powder coating oven. So this is ready to go. But check it out. That really quieted it up using a Kilmat. I put a little bit on the firewall because the original firewall mat was all deteriorated. I took that off. It quieted that up a little bit. All right, it's a couple days later. I got sidetracked a bunch of stuff. I did vacuum out the cab corner pockets and fluid filmed all in there. I fluid filmed down inside some holes here on the cab and up through the windshield wiper holes. You can see it puking out of holes here and there, fluid film. Good stuff. So now what I want to do is I'm going to drag the original truck, what's left of it, around. We're going to start stripping it. So I got the Kabotski over here, and we're going to hook on to the Dodge. Oh, I got a stuck drum. Dang it. tractor sure makes moving things a lot easier. That would have been a real chore with that locked up drum. And oh, I've puked power steering fluid out of the box. Oh, great. Yeah, with that locked up drum, that would have been a really good chore for me to try to get that out of there. But it luckily I was able to pick up a little bit. And that drum's just a little stuck on the back. But now, what I want to focus on is taking the glass out here, the windshield. I got to get the rubber out, get the windshield out, get the rear window out, then I can pull the dash out, put the dash in the cab first, and then the wiring harness and work from there. I'll pop the doors off too. And that is filthy. And the hurdle I noticed on this truck is, I think the brake booster is rusted through on the bottom here. I can feel the plastic, and that is rotted. They are hard to find. Rock Auto doesn't have any in stock, and I'm gonna have to source one somewhere. Maybe a car application to work, but the rest of the stuff, the heater box and all that, should unscrew. All the electrical connections, the wiper motor, all that stuff should transfer over no problem. This steering box is the 80s style, which mounts to a plate sideways. I'm using the 7, and it steers off the bottom. I'm using the 75, which is side steer, and it's going to require modifying the steering shaft to work. But this box was leaking and kind of wore out, so we're going to use the 75 box for it. All right, let me clean some of the stuff out of here. Oh. Oh. Got my cowl panel. Covered the leaves from the fall last year. But original paint on there in decent shape. It's just super grungy. Take that inside. This cab is so rusty. The doors aren't too bad. Here's, oh, what we got in here? Tail lights. Put a lot of parts and pieces in. Ooh, cab lights. Oh, these are off the other. These are off the other Dodge. This is all the cab lights and stuff I saved off of that, and all the bolts off the 75 when I cut the cab up on that one. Awesome. But these are the. Uh-oh. Why is there mouse leavings on there? Is there a mouse in here? Heater box. Oh, is there a mouse in the glove box? Let's look. Nope. Nice. All right. I think I'm going to pull the seat out while we're here. It's my instrument cluster cover. I had taken the dash apart on this one for storage because it had mice in it. What is this? Black door panel. Spinning the brown Dodge. Here's my gumball light. I'm going to reinstall this on a separate bracket, not on the roof. But this does work, even though it's a little grungy on the inside because the plastic is cracked. It has 4 big strobe lights, and it does work. So we're going to reinstall it. There was holes right through the roof. They bolted it right through. It's crazy. And this is one of the pieces of trim off the other truck. Don't need this, but we'll save it. This truck had the silver dash. I saved the dash out of the 75 Adventure, which is all black. This dash is tan. I thought about putting a black interior back in the truck. The seats are going to be black and gray, but I think I'll get some SEM paint, and I'm going to repaint this original dash and paint the original door panels, which are extremely faded. They should have been like a cream color, and they're faded almost white. So I'll get some of that vinyl paint, and I'll paint that. But let's go ahead and, whoa! Get this bench seat out of here. I would stick with the bench, but it's completely shot on the driver's side, and it would require, oh. Uh-oh. New foam and covering, and it would be multiple hundreds of dollars to have it fixed, so I'm going to save it for later. Look how bad that cab floor was. Completely shot. That's got galvanized tin. I mean, it's pretty much gone. My friend Marty, I got the truck from, he bolted this Ford tank in because he had the original tank fall out of it, and actually this truck was on fire. He was plowing with it, and the tank fell out, and some guy stopped him. He's like, "Hey, your truck's on fire," and it had dragged the tank and it was on fire under the truck. Luckily, he didn't lose it, but he put this Ford truck gas tank in the back in 1980 and down. The cab still had the mounts for behind the cab fuel tank, so he just drilled a hole in the cab and stuck this Ford tank in there. So we'll jettison that right here soon. But so not too much has got to come out of here, just pretty much gut it down to nothing, and then I'll unbolt the cab from the frame. I might just cut it up right in pieces on the frame actually, because it is I'll pull it off of the tractor and just throw it out back. I don't know if it's worth saving. There's pretty much nothing good on it. I don't know. I'll make a decision later. I do want to get this rear window out. I don't know if this is a factory slider or somebody put this window in. There's broken glass under the seat, so I'm going to guess maybe that the original back window got broken and somebody put the slider in. And I think I can get it going here and try to get the rubber over the lip. Start working my way out. The rubber is not too bad. I would like to save the rubber. We'll be able to pop this window right out of here. Hatsa! Get out of there. Somehow. You know what? The secret is just to get it started. Oh, she's going already. I could probably reinstall this window right now into the other cab, but I got my glass guys going to come over and put the windshield in. I'll just have them do them both because they are able to do it. They got all tools and know what they're doing. What the heck was that? Gunfire. Gunfire. Look out. And it'll save me $100 on a new rubber. This rubber is nice. All right, we're in the ballpark. All right, I'm gonna go on the outside. This should peel right out of here. Ow. Whoa, easy now, easy. Almost lost it. There we go. That would have been bad. Yeah, she's rotted on the bottom. Oh, dang it. All right. There's a bunch of surface rust in the rubber here. I'm gonna have to clean this out really well with some soap and water. Clean the gasket out so when it goes back in, it doesn't have any rust in it and scratch the paint on the new cab and have future rust. So I'm gonna have to go over this later with a fine-tooth comb. And most of the rust was on the outside. Oh, it's actually got a hole in the back of the cab right here. Holy moly, literally. So there we go. Next step, before I can get the dash out, is I need to take the windshield out. Ooh, look at all the rust holes through the roof there. Harder than I expected, but it came out. The secret is use a use a utility knife with the carpet knife here. Carpet knife. Look at that. So then you can get right in the rubber. And now you've seen the rubber was sacrificial on this truck. I ordered a new one for the new windshield. It comes. First I pulled out the interlocking piece. Yeah, it's got rust all along there. It was junk, but I needed to do that because there's our screws. Ooh, there's a bunch of dead hornets in here. Great. There's screws for the dash that are under the windshield rubber, and they're really hard to get at with the windshield intact. And it's just easier for me what I'm doing. Just take the glass out and it's got to come out anyways. I'm not going to use that windshield because it's fogged pretty good around the edges, but I'm going to save it. Put it, you know, it's always good to have a spare windshield. But the expensive part of this whole operation is the rubber, which I had purchased a new one. But you pretty much, unless you're a glass guy, you pretty much got to cut the old gasket to get the windshield out. But that sucker is out of there. I'm going to go ahead and do some screws and probably remove the dashboard next, and then we'll be able to see what we're working with. Okay, I'm going to pull the column out now. I've unhooked the wire connections under the dash, and I've unhooked the rag joint, which is two 12-point sockets. Now I've just taken the nuts off the column drop, and it should come out of here. Come on out of there. Ha! Just like that. Boom. There we go. Like I said, I'm using the 75 steering box, which has the column went all the way down to the box, and this one has a collapsible shaft, which I'm not going to be reusing. And I'm going to have to make some kind of action in the middle, but we'll worry about that later. So that guy is out of there. I almost think I gotta check for, you know, the heater controls. Let's see. I gotta unhook the heater controls and some other stuff, but the dash should be just about ready to come out. I'm just looking. I got the wiring harness loose, so I gotta get the dimmer switch loose. The harness is loose with the dash. Is that the speedo cable? I can loosen that up when I back it off. Brake light switch, I gotta label that. Let me do some more labeling and then we'll try to pull the dash out. They've changed the dash mounting from 81 on up to 80 on down. This has got two brackets that bolt on the bottom of the dash here. And the 80 and up, or 81 and up, has two bolt holes in the sides. So I've got to unbolt this, which appear to be, maybe it's just hung. Oh, let's tip this down and get a look. Whoa. Kind of hung up on dash vent action. Yeah, that's all deteriorated. That's all deteriorated. Got mouse nest. Some hooks from here. That's the interior light. Fish this through. What is this? Get out of here. This is loose. That's loose. That's the e-brake. That should pull off of there, I would think. Yep. E-brake. I'll forget to label everything. I made a mistake of taking this truck apart long time ago, and I labeled most of it. It looks like, and I had tape outside in the rain. Luckily, it held up, and things under the hood are still labeled. But it might be a little bit of figuring things out, but it's always best to label everything I can. Auxiliary headlight switch, that's what that is. Whew. We're getting her. Oh, okay. I'm going to take this pad off, like I said, and paint it. You see how chalky it is here? See, chalky. I'm going to try to detail it the best I can and paint it along with the glove box door, try to restore that as best I can, and try to keep things intact. Okay, I got the dash free. Oop. Let's get it out of here without wrecking everything. Ah, yes. There, now I can disassemble that and do all that painting like I said I wanted to do. That's the seat belt and dome light harness. So up here under the dash now, I get a garbage bag. I'm going to get rid of all that was potentially mouse nest. Then I can focus on getting the heater controls off. There's screws around the outside of that. Take the whole outside cover off and see if that's full of mouse nest. It probably is. But I got the e-brake just hanging here. The pedals are hanging. They can come out. They've got to go in the other truck. I've got to cut the hole here in the firewall for where the clutch rod goes through there. I've got that. I can take the vents out. Now you can get the doors off because the upper bolts for the doors are behind the dash. So I will get the doors off, and then I will put the doors on the truck in the garage before I put the dash back in. So I can hang them, can hang all this stuff, and then just reassemble it just how I took it apart, put the dash in. But these brackets here are welded to the cab and bolt from the bottom, so I'm going to have to probably cut them free and modify them to fit the donor cab, which has just a stud sticking out. So I'll figure that out. Then we can hang the dash back in and do a few more odds and ends, and this thing will be ready to get rid of this cab. Because what's left is just, oh, these sun visors are mint. Oh. Drive shaft procedure. Just tells how to shift it. So that's it. So the sun's going down. I've done probably all I can do now. I'll probably just pop the doors off right quick just because it's easy to do it right now. And I'm going to clean all this up, and then next time we can continue to gut, and I'll get some of that SEM paint in the meantime. We'll restore the dash, get that functional, and get all this stuff swapped over to the new cab, and then hang the doors, hang the dash, and start reassembling the cab. Then we can start working our way forward, putting the harness back in the front, getting the inner fenders and the core support mounted up, and then hang the fenders and the grill and the plow mount and all that stuff, and really start to turn this thing back into a truck. So a lot went on in this video, a lot of work for me. It's spread out over a couple days, but we're doing Dodge stuff, and I can't wait to get this truck done. So thanks so much for watching. Next time, we'll either be working on the gas station or the Dodge or something completely different. I never know. You guys have to stay tuned and find out. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the alert bell so you get the notifications for the new videos. It really helps me out, and we'll see you next time out here in the driveway working on old Dodges, I guess.